Welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Dr. Greg. Running a consulting business is hard, but you know what? Getting out of that business, once you've decided you've had enough, can be even harder. After all, if you're good at your job, you'll find those pesky repeat clients keep coming back and asking you to do more work for them. I mean, how unreasonable is that? In this video, I'll show you 3 surefire ways to make sure you kill off your consultancy once and for all. So if you want to know how to kill off your business, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Welcome to Dr. Greg's Guide to Killing Off Your Consultancy in 3 easy steps. If you're watching this video, I'll assume that you find yourself in the unenviable position of having spent years building up a successful consulting business, but now you've decided that that's no longer for you and you want to get out. The problem is, of course, that you don't know how, and so you're feeling trapped. But there are ways to kill off a consulting business, and they're easier than you think. So let's have a look at them. Now, step 1 seems so obvious that I'm almost embarrassed to bring it up. But sometimes the simple things get overlooked, so let's make sure we have a look at it anyway. Step 1. Stop doing business development. The first thing you need to do is to stop looking for work. Stop networking. Stop scanning the market. Stop remaining open to new opportunities. Now, this step sounds easy, but it's often hard for consultants who have been in the role for a long time. I mean, they often find themselves just out and about talking to people and hearing about new opportunities, and then accidentally finding new avenues for their services. But if your goal is to kill off your consultancy business, you really can't afford to be doing this. So here's my surefire way of making sure that you're not accidentally winning any new work. Stay in your office. Just sit at your desk and focus on the jobs you currently have. This simple, easy step will pretty much ensure that you won't get any new work turning up from unexpected avenues. And once you've shut the door on new work that could have wasted your time and efforts, you can then set your focus on those hard to shift repeat clients. Step number 2. Focus on eroding the client experience. Oftentimes we forget that our repeat clients come back to us because they've enjoyed the experience of working with us. If we really want to kill off this consultancy, we need to focus on eroding those past experiences so that those clients feel comfortable about leaving us. Now, there are many ways to do this, but here are some of my favourites. Overpromise and underdeliver. Make sure that you set your clients up for a devastatingly poor experience by promising things that you have no intention of delivering. Now, I'm not just talking about overselling your skill. That's easy. Any idiot can do that. But if you want to kill this consultancy off, you're going to need to step it up a bit, because your repeat clients already have a certain understanding of your skills. The best way, I believe, is to create an environment where your client feels like they're not getting value for money. Now, you can do this with a raft of everyday experiences. Things like not returning phone calls, turning up late to their meetings, and failing to deliver reports on time. All this helps, but the clincher is to give really poor advice at a time when it matters most. I mean, you need to present something that's so poorly thought through that it's blatantly obvious that you spent the least amount of time possible formulating the response. And that's a great start, but you'll get the most impact if you manage to link that to a critical decision that the client needs to make, so that your advice ends up costing them a lot of money, or better yet, ends up making them look stupid in front of their own managers and colleagues. Now, of course, the holy grail of eroding the client experience is to aim for something that is both costly and embarrassing. If you can do that, then you can kiss even the most loyal repeat customers goodbye. Another effective way of eroding a positive client experience is to focus on squeezing every dollar you can from that client. Sometimes the most stubborn repeat clients are willing to overlook our underperformance based on their previous experience with us. Now, this can be difficult to overcome, but the best way that I've seen to break this misplaced loyalty is to really focus on your contract and be quick to highlight every time that the client needs something that's done outside the strictest possible interpretation of that contract. And then, bam, hit them with a bill for an extra service. Now, this can sometimes be harder than you think, because you've spent so many years providing extra value for money that your clients have become used to it. But don't forget the goal here. You are trying to kill your consultancy business, so it's going to take some extra effort. Remember, no pain, no gain. So here's one simple trick that's guaranteed to work. I like to call it death by 1,000 cuts. And here's how it works. Make sure you never bundle your extra services into a single claim. You need to keep finding new ways to get a new bill on the table as often as possible. Actually, why not have a bit of fun with it? And set yourself the goal of finding a contractual reason for a new variation every time you get to meet with the client. Oh, and make sure these claims for variations aren't so big that the client might misinterpret them as being reasonable. I've found it's best to keep these extra claims to less than 1% of the actual contract value. But make sure there's a lot of them. That way, you will eventually be able to wear through even the most resilient bonds of loyalty. Now, one last comment on finally ridding yourself of your loyal customers by eroding the client experience. Remember, you get an exponential result from repeated bad experiences. A recent PricewaterhouseCoopers study showed that you might only lose 17% of repeat customers through one bad experience. But you can increase this into excess of 59% by giving the same clients 2 consecutive poor experiences. This is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of killing your consultancy. So remember, you might need to create a poor client experience more than once. But don't worry, you almost never have to do it 3 times in a row. Step 3. Create a dysfunctional team. Now this one only applies if you've got employees or dedicated team members. One of the things that we can so easily overlook when trying to kill a consultancy is that we forget the positive impact that our teams can have on our clients. Now this is especially true when we've taken time in the past to, select the right team or invest ourselves in their personal or career development. Often these team members won't know that you've checked out or that you're trying to kill off your business. And so they will keep white-anting your efforts by delivering good service and creating positive experiences for your clients. You need to get on top of this, otherwise you'll never kill this business off. So here's a few useful tips. Tip 1. Start taking the credit for the team's good work in front of the clients. Really ham it up. Let the clients know that this was all you. It's almost best not to even acknowledge that there was a team, just in case the client starts to bond with them. Tip 2. Create an us and them mentality within the team. Now this one can be fun, and it really is so easy. All you have to do is start pretending that the team is not all on the same side. You pit the finance team against the delivery team against the design team against the marketing team. The potential variants are endless, but you need to make sure that they don't talk to one another. If they start speaking to one another, they might find out that they're all trying to achieve the same goal. So you need to make sure that you stay as a single communication channel between the teams. It's a lot easier to control the flow of information that way. Oh, and don't forget the icing on the cake. Make sure you gossip about each of the teams to the other teams. That one always helps. Now tip number 3. Make sure that you never give your team clear direction on what needs to be done. Remember, the aim here is to make sure that we're not giving the client a positive experience. So you need to make sure that your teams are confused about what they need to achieve. And if you can, get them working on completely different things. So that way the client thinks that your team is incompetent. That one never fails. So there you have it. I know you thought that killing off your consultancy would be hard, but it's as simple as can be, and it only takes 3 steps. Step 1, stop doing business development. Step 2, focus on eroding the client experience. And step 3, create a dysfunctional team. This has been another presentation from Enso Consulting. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I'm Dr. Greg. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you again soon.